If investigators find the shell casings, they can ID the gun. If they ID the gun, they can ID the killer. That's the idea. And after hundreds of useless leads, they now know where the bullets came from.
Carolyn Beaver in Waurika on Beaver Hardware. She was able to produce a receipt where she sold 20 rounds of Winchester shotgun shells to Josh Bagwell. They had the same kind of shotgun shells that were used to kill Heather Rich.
Heather's boyfriend, Josh Bagwell, bought the ammo and gave the shells to his best friend, who was right there with him, Curtis Gamble.
Curtis had a terrible reputation around here as not being a good guy, and he earned that righteously.
Curtis is 19. He spent a couple of years in juvenile detention and some time in a psychiatric institution.
He was not unpopular, you know. He was kind of that bad boy, and I'm sure that was attractive.
Turns out Heather knew Curtis Gamble. Turns out it was Curtis and Josh who helped get her suspended.
The night of the incident and all that happened, Heather and another girl didn't attend a squad dinner so that they could go with Josh and Curtis to the ball game.
The picture started coming into focus. Heather, Josh, and Curtis hung out together. And sometimes Heather's jealous old boyfriend Randy Wood checked in to see what Heather was doing. And the connections don't end there. Turns out that on the night Heather disappeared, Curtis, Josh, and Randy were having a party in a trailer Josh used. Josh and Randy claimed they hadn't seen Heather that night, but maybe that wasn't true. Josh's grandpa remembers that night Heather disappeared, she'd been calling the house looking for Josh.
He told Josh that, hey, Heather's been looking for you, you ought to call her back. He did say that Josh often stopped in town and made a call from a payphone.
Come on, you're taking all day. No, come on!
They bring Randy in and ask him if Heather showed up at the party.
He said, basically, they had not seen Heather Rich.
She was there that night, but
Randy almost memorized and rehearsed how none of them were involved in this, that, and the other thing.
Randy says Heather wasn't there. Josh isn't saying anything. He won't talk to the investigators. And Curtis? Nobody knows where he is. Everybody says he's been acting kind of strange since the death of one of his friends, Dennis Wayne Goss. Dennis, who also knew Heather through Josh Bagwell, shot himself. The sheriff's department says it was a suicide. But some folks have their doubts. They say it was a drug-related killing. And they say Curtis got it in his head that Heather Rich had something to do with it.
Dennis Goss was a fairly good kid, but had started taking drugs and maybe running with some of the wrong crowd. Curtis had mentioned something to the effect that Heather knew something about Dennis's death.
Curtis had repeatedly said to people that he did not believe Dennis Wayne Goss committed suicide, that he believed other people were involved. Curtis thought that Heather was there when Dennis Wayne Goss was murdered.
Maybe Curtis killed Heather to avenge his friend Dennis. Maybe Curtis murdered Dennis and Heather was a witness. Maybe someone else killed both of them. Then again, maybe there's no connection. To find out, investigators track Curtis to the house of Sean Havener, another friend in a nearby town. Curtis and Sean get so mad at the investigators snooping around, they actually run out of the house and chase them. Not the smartest move. So focused on the cars in front of them, they don't notice they've got a Texas Ranger bearing down on them.
said he wanted to talk to him about the death of his friend as well as the death of Heather Richam. And I said, I know that you had some difficulties with this death of your friend. Said, and you thought that Heather Rich was involved in that, didn't you? And when I asked him that question, it was like his shoulders dropped. And he started talking about what had happened that night with Heather, and that he knew where the shotgun was that was used.
Aiken convinces Curtis to show him his shotgun, nicknamed Old Black. He's been keeping it at Sean Havener's place.
It was a Mossberg M9. Means it was capable of firing 9 rounds. But we knew that she'd been shot 9 times, and we knew she'd been shot with Winchester shotgun shells. And so Mossberg M9 and the Winchester shotgun shells that were purchased at Beaver Hardware gave us the proper direction.
Ranger Aiken asks Curtis to take a polygraph, and Curtis obliges. As Curtis tells it, he, Randy, and Josh were out drinking together. Josh called Heather to join them for a party.
She willingly left her room that night.
She chose to crawl out the window. There was going to be a party and she was going to go. Period.
This is Curtis's statement. We had her at the travel trailer. We were drinking different alcoholic beverages.
According to Curtis, Heather got so drunk that after she had sex with Josh, she passed out cold. This was too bad, because Curtis and Randy had been hoping to get a turn, too. Then Heather wakes up screaming. She says they got her drunk and raped her, and she's gonna tell the police. So according to Curtis, Josh and Randy start panicking. Josh says he's not going down on a rape charge, and the boys figure there's only one way to keep Heather's mouth shut. Only one way that's permanent.
So they decided at that moment they were going to kill her.
So they load her in the truck and drive out into the night. Away from Rika. Across the border into Texas and onto the Belknap Creek Bridge.
Curtis said that he and Josh stepped out of the pickup. Randy laid her down on the bridge, and then he said,